Hi, I'm Master Lukey, and welcome to the Red Owl News. I'm also going to be making a vegan mac and cheese that I call Mega Mac, and I'm hopefully turning this apartment into a restaurant, and that's one of the main dishes that I'm going to hopefully specialize in and sell. So I'll go back and forth between reading these news articles and making the actual recipe. Okay, so first we have France bans use of steak and sausage to describe vegetarian products. Well, before I get into this, I'll just say that I'm not a vegan for any other reason than health. So I'm not really into like meat alternatives because they're not healthy. I realize that I am making a mac and cheese alternative, but what I'm making is healthy. So you'll see that, and I'll talk about the ingredients a little bit. France, though. You can't call it steak. That's my terrible French accent. Plant-based meat alternatives will have to come up with new terminology in France. The country adopted a measure banning plant-based products from using the same names as food from dead animals. At least they call it as they see it. They call it what it is, dead animals. Ew. France will become the first European Union country to ban the use of words like steak and sausage from being applied to plant-based food, according to an official decree published on Thursday. The ban, which was originally agreed to in 2020, will go into effect in October. It will not be possible to use sector-specific terminology traditionally associated with meat and fish to designate products that do not belong to the animal world and which in essence are not comparable. The regulation only applies to products made in France, and the country's largest farm lobby, FNSEA, said it did not go far enough as it left the door open to imports. It said that similar laws should be enacted at the European level. Oh, the country's largest farm lobby, huh? Gee, I wonder if they have an interest in this, huh? Agribusiness war machine. Wow. What scum. I hope you all go out of business. Some terms, such as buttermilk and cheese, are already protected on the European level and cannot be applied to plant-based products. Words like burger are, however, allowed to be used on meat alternatives. The market for vegetarian and vegan meat-like food has surged in recent years as more people concerned about climate change, animal welfare, and nutrition turn to plant-based diets. You hear that? You want to save the environment? You care about animals? And you care about your health. This has in turn attracted major investment from global agri-food groups, hoping to capitalize on a trend. Well, I hope some global agri-food group is watching me right now, because I got something for you. It's called Mega Mac. All right, you don't have to worry about any name. I'm not calling it macaroni and cheese. I'm not calling it whatever. This is my own recipe. It's based on David Jubb's ingredients list that I got from him, and you're gonna see how I make it. The first thing I have to do though is prepare the Irish sea moss. So let's get the light on. blender. Do about that much. Because I don't want to be here all night. That's a lot. That's a lot right there. This is like wax on, wax off. My hands are purple from eating mulberries today. It's the last day of mulberry season, in my estimation. They're not going to get any bigger. And I found, you know, over the years I've been here in Lynbrook, I found the best trees local to where I'm at. And I pretty much picked them clean over the last week. I wasn't going to really eat mulberries this season because I've been trying to do fasting. But I caved in on Friday night after training and I ate the recipe that I was supposed to make for a student. He didn't know that I was making it for him, so I didn't really like screw him over. It's a kid who kind of like sees me in the gym and looks up to me because I have abs. Sometimes I after training, I take my shirt off because it's drenched. And this one particular day, I was working out without a shirt on, and I was drinking apple cider. And he expressed interest in it, so I was like, you know what? Because he said, you know, does that help you cut? He said he wants to get a six-pack, or he wants to get abs. So I said, all right, well, here's an opportunity maybe to get, not only to help him, but maybe to get a client out of it, as far as being a health coach, or as far as selling food to him. So, anyway, I caved in on Friday. I was weak. I ate the recipe that I made for him with Sir Doyle on Friday. It was this recipe, basically. But I ate it, and I've kind of been eating ever since. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And I'm going to eat again tonight. And I'm going to start fasting. Not tomorrow night, because tomorrow I'm going to have this recipe one more time. Because I'm like weird. I kind of transition everything. I have like a technique where, say somebody comes to me and they want to do cleansing, it will be a transition. They're not just going to switch over. So the first thing would be like, you know, cut out meat and, you know, go vegan, and then go from vegan to Life Food Certified, and then from Life Food Certified to like uncooked Life Food Certified. Like for example, there's these things that sometimes I'll cheat with at the market. They're organic roasted chestnuts, and they're live food, but they're roasted. So that would be like, you know, a transitional food for me. So this weekend when I was with my girlfriend, we had dinner on Saturday and watched the UFC, and I made dino cheese, and we had some steamed kabocha squash over a bit of arugula, and I had onion and she doesn't like onion, but I had red onion on the arugula, and also grated, I think it's called julienne. I made like these radish noodles of white radish, daikon radish, and also steamed some oyster mushrooms. So it's kind of like a salad where instead of dressing, it was dino cheese. I made it creamy, so it kind of coated everything. And it's a recipe that I've made on the channel before. It's kind of like kabocha squash, and then I fill it up with the cheese. But I had some fixins in it this time. I think she got even a red pepper or tomato or something. So, but because that was cooked, it doesn't have the high enzyme activity that something uncooked would have. And so for me, the transition back to fasting is going from that to uncooked Life Food Certified. And then from uncooked Life Food Certified to liquid. You know, it's like I just transition everything. And I won't do it any other way. I don't know if it's OCD or what. So, because I had mulberries today, this is the way I'm thinking. Because I had mulberries today, I'm going to eat this. And then tomorrow, I'm not going to have mulberries. And then I'm going to eat this. So the transition is from eating twice today to eating once tomorrow. And then not eating on, I guess, Thursday it would be. And then I'm going to be fasting. I get really anxious in the morning because I don't know why. It's got to be the rotting food in my gut probably. And I'm thinking about how New York City is mandating experimental medical procedures on kids in the fall. And I'm thinking about my sons. They don't live in New York City, but I had a conversation with their mother, and she said she would do it for herself to keep her job, and she doesn't see things my way. Like she would kind of frame it to the kid like, oh, do you want to do it? And she told me that they would rather do it and stay in school than leave school. So I'm thinking that I have to save them, and so my idea is to go viral with Master Luki's League of Champions and be able to take care of them and homeschool them myself. They're getting to be a certain age where they could choose that if they want, I think. What's up, Londos? So today I started writing the business plan up to take to, there's a law firm out in Suffolk County that's gonna help me establish Master Luki's League of Champions as a nonprofit organization. So over the past week, I've been writing the rough draft of the business plan because the website that I looked at, they said, they want you to come in with the business plan. So I've been researching nonprofit business plans. I wrote like two of them, two separate ones from two different websites. I followed their format. So I have basically two rough drafts that I'm combining into one, and then I'm going to type it. So today, I got the executive summary done, and I'll read that in a second. Let me just blend this. So yeah, my plan is to save my kids from their own mother. she told me that, you know, I gotta watch what I say on stream because my kids are gonna watch one day or something. And you know what? I want them to watch. Jackie and Mackie, I want you to know that I'm against vaccines. Ever since before you were born, I did the research thanks to Dr. David Jubb, and I decided that it was safer to not get you vaccinated. And your mom and I agreed, and therefore you were not vaccinated. And that remained, as far as I know, the case until 2019. This is speculation now. When New York State removed the religious exemption. And I'm gonna try not to not get my channel shut down. So I'm just gonna be careful how I word this. And I'm gonna say that it's not smart to play Russian roulette. Because if you know what Russian roulette is, it's when you have a gun that has one bullet out of 6 holes in it. And they spin the barrel, whatever it's called, the chamber, and they pull the trigger. And they have a 1 in 6 chance that when they point the gun to their head, that the bullet's actually going to go off and they're going to die. And I don't recommend anybody play Russian roulette. And I am against people playing Russian roulette with kids. And there's lots of reports of kids being injured from playing Russian roulette and even dying. And I'm against that. And I want you to know, Zachy and Mackie, that if it was up to me, you would never have been vaccinated and you never would be. Because I love you and I care for you. I care for your body. And you're a sacred, divine child of God. And your body is precious and perfect. And I want you to stay that way, healthy. And that's why I don't give junk food to kids. Okay? Londos, you're feeding your chipmunk. Are peanuts live food certified? No, they're not. Chipmunks might be able to eat peanuts. I'm not sure if they're actually herbivores. But legumes, which peanuts are part of the family in botany and study of plants, peanut is a legume, is not live food certified, and it causes intestinal distress for me because of my brain condition due to the injury and the subsequent sensitivity that I had. Peanuts make me actually morbid and irritable and morbid. Like the last time I had peanut butter and jelly, which was in 2014, I actually wanted to die. I thought I was dying. And I'll never do that again. Richard says, a guy here in Mexico died from playing Russian roulette a month ago. Well, I was just talking about a metaphor there, Mr. Blunts. So I don't know if we're talking about the same thing. But yeah, human life is precious, man. We only get one chance. We only get one life that I know of. And to me, it's priceless. And I would never risk my life or anybody else's. I would never recommend playing Russian roulette. And I would never recommend all these experimental medical procedures. I think it's evil and sinister and not what they're telling us it is. I think it's a conspiracy. It's a nanotech conspiracy. And you know what? Fuck it. I don't care. I don't care if they ban me. Because I'm against it. and I'm against injecting aborted fetal tissue into people. I'm against that. I'm against using aborted fetal tissue as adjuvants, which is what they do. They inject people with adjuvants to stimulate an immune response. An adjuvant is like aborted fetal tissue and monkey DNA, and all this other shit, which is really what causes the people to get sick. So-called cause an immune response. They love the peanuts. Okay, well, they must love you then for giving them the peanuts. I'm gonna go to the second story and then I'll make some more of that stuff. Let's see here. They're eating bird seeds, peanuts, and sunflower seeds. Maybe I should get them pumpkin seeds. Yeah, so only if you want really smart and strong chipmunks or squirrels. What'd you say? Chipmunk. If you want really smart and strong chipmunks, then feed them pumpkin seeds because it's got the essential fats and the protein. My thoughts on marijuana usage? I'm for it, bro. When I left UFC, I had brain injury. And my symptoms manifested as irritability, anxiety, and the way I was expressing myself, I was called schizophrenic. And they wanted to put me on lithium. The side effects of lithium, let's just look into that real quick because I just want to make sure I'm accurate when I say these things. From what I remember, I wouldn't have been able to continue to practice martial arts. Lithium side effects. Okay, confusion, poor memory, or lack of awareness. Fast pounding or irregular heartbeat or pulse. Frequent urination, increased thirst. Slow heartbeat, stiffness of the arms or legs. Troubled breathing, especially during hard work or exercise, and weight gain. You see? If I went the Western medical route, and I'll say medical in quotes, if I went the Western drug route that the court wanted to put me on, I wouldn't have been able to continue training martial arts, and that's just putting it mildly. So when I went to see my teacher, Dr. David Jubb, and he put me on a natural healing program for my brain injury, it had a heavy, what is it? Not influence, importance. It placed a lot of importance, and it had a lot of weed. I did a lot of weed. Now I used weed as a teenager, and I've been using weed since I was 15 years old. But Dr. Jubb taught me about the medical use of marijuana, and I couldn't smoke, so I learned how to basically make my own edibles, which was very easy. I have videos on my YouTube, which I blend the weed up, I cook it in coconut oil or palm oil, and then I either just take a small spoonful of that, and that's my medicine, or I'll put it in food. I've made all types of recipes like ice cream, medical ice cream, chewies. I made fruit chewies. I've made ginger cookies. And, it saved my life. It really did. Now, I don't use it anymore, mostly because I can't afford it, but also because I'm getting into fasting. I really have to heal my gut because I'm about to go on tour for my League of Champions, and I'm going to have to do a lot of fighting, and I have to be as light as possible, and I can't have any debris in my intestine, even water in between cells from inflammation, even accumulated plaque on the intestinal wall, even scar tissue. I'm basically stripping myself down to only what I need to fight. And so I have to do a lot of fasting. Supposedly it's 21 days of only water, and I'm working my way towards it. It's the hardest thing I've ever done, mentally. So this is I'm just gonna read my executive summary. This is one of the rough drafts. But so far, this is what I got. Another question: are melon seeds live food certified? Yeah, melons are live food certified. Some people say like the seeds aren't really meant for us; they're meant for the ground. But there's a lot of benefit from seeds. I just don't like the taste of them. But yeah, pretty much all seeds are. You'd be hard pressed to find a seed that's not live food certified. So anything that's on the list on this website here, you have, where is it? LiveFoodCertified.com. Ingredients. Okay? And then so on this list, anything on here is live food certified. Okay, so would you have melon? Right there, melon. Yeah. You ate a quarter melon yesterday with seeds and I feel great today. Awesome. I like to think I had influence on that. But good on you, mate. So my teacher used to say, good on you, mate. So here's my executive summary. And the executive summary is basically a short summary of the wait, hold on, I have it here. This is from constantcontact.com. Executive summary. Summaries are always the most read section of your nonprofit business plan, and not just because it is concise and placed conveniently at the beginning. This section tells the story of the change you hope to make. Here you'll include your mission, your vision, and your goals. Write this section by telling the reader about the needs you want to fill and a short summary of how you'll do it. You might find it helpful to write this section last, since it will summarize what's talked about in the rest of the plan. The executive summary is also customizable depending on whether you're approaching an investor, sending the plan out to get a loan, or recruiting someone to your team. Since this section is at the very beginning of your plan, it's easy to edit when you need to send it out to someone new. Okay, so here's the cover. Here's the cover of the business plan. I can't help but make it look like a comic book. I know some people think it's not professional, but I can always edit, and this is what the cover is going to look like. Master Lukey's League of Champions, no head contact, and here's a picture of somebody holding their head, says traumatic brain injury, and then new point scoring, and here's a picture of me and a couple of dudes with the equipment on. Richard says, you definitely did have an influence. I saw the seeds and was like, Master Lukey would probably eat the seeds too. LOL, I might leave the stream abruptly since I'm 22 minutes away from having to go to work. That's cool, man. Yeah, I'm just going to be making the same recipe that I made on Friday, pretty much, and talking about a few points of interest that I got via text message from a secret government operative, Project Blue Agate. The mission is to make Master Lukey a household name on YouTube. But here's my executive summary. Now, what I'm doing is I'm taking it piece by piece. So look, the ultimate goal is to make Master Lukey's League of Champions on the level of the Olympics. People are saying, oh, let's get MMA in the Olympics. You could never have MMA in the Olympics under the current rule set because nobody would make it. Think of how many matches people would have to get to the gold medal through qualifying, for their national team, and stuff like that. People would end up in the hospital, which even happens when you win. So you want to have MMA in the Olympics? Master Luki's League of Champions, it would be the rule set. There's no head contact. There's points for action instead of damage, and everything is padded. Now, I'm not necessarily going to bring it to the Olympics. I want to have my own thing. I believe that I can make Master Luki's League of Champions its own entity. Much more stylish than the Olympics. Like really cool with mythical beasts. And I'll go into that in another program. But my first step is to go viral. So that's what this business plan is about. It's about me getting a tour bus and going around America challenging everyone to fight me under these rules, vlogging it, turning it into a reality show, documenting all the people that I meet and their struggles and making it like, like we're a team now. Like everybody's working hard to try to make it in this world. And I'm helping you because, I want you to be successful and I don't want you to get hurt. And I'm helping you and you're helping me make this happen. So just keep that in mind when I go over this executive summary. It's not for the ultimate goal of getting to the Olympics. This nonprofit business plan is for the actual tour. So here's my executive summary. Master Luki's League of Champions is the safest way MMA, with no head contact and points for action instead of damage. Most all recent research into brain injury shows an extreme danger to human health from concussive and even subconcussive impact. That's when you, subconcussive impact is when you get hit in the head but you don't have a concussion. It's like a repetitive stress type of injury, like carpal tunnel syndrome, but to the brain. The goal of this league is to update the sport of mixed martial arts with new safety regulations, create change in the industry, and create change and growth in the industry, because there's going to be a lot more people who are able to do this. Not just fighters who don't give a shit about their health and are a little bit psycho wanting to hurt people, but kids, guys who have other jobs, soccer moms, everybody can get involved. And provide a more stable platform for athletes of all ages and experience levels, from kids to professionals. I propose doing this through a nationwide tour of matches on which I challenge notable martial artists and connect with communities to build a movement around this cause. My plan is to use social and traditional media outlets to establish collaboration with influencers and businesses to grow as I travel the nation and build events in each place I visit. All money raised will go towards travel and supplies for each event. That's the summary. And then there's a lot more detail that goes into it. Like, where's the money going to come from? What I'm actually going to do on the tour. I'm going to go into the scoring system, how it's digital. I'm still waiting to hear back from the guy who's making my interactive website. I paid him $600. That's the last of my money. I got like $200 left. He said he would take 9 to 12 days, and that was, I don't know how long ago, but he's not over the schedule yet. Anyway, that's what I got done so far. There's a lot more to do, and I'm going to keep on keeping on. Trust. Please describe Operation Blue Agate. What's in it for me statement? I don't know if that's the technical term there, Londos, but There is a lot that goes into a business plan. There's target audience. There's how you're helping the target audience. There's where you're getting the money and where's the money going to. Um, there's more to it. So what's in it for me? Yes, I will go over that. Project Blue Agate, just long story short, it's a... Have you ever heard of MK Ultra? MK Ultra is mind control. In German, the word control is spelled with a K. After World War II, the Nazi scientists who were doing all the mind control experiments in the concentration camps, they came to America in something called Operation Paperclip. They founded and were the first scientists of NASA. Okay, it was a top secret military operation to bring these scientists to America. They founded NASA. They kept doing the mind control on Americans. It was called MK Ultra. They created these super soldiers. Then the technology from the mind control program was incorporated into media and marketing. And now everybody in the world who watches TV, who watches social media, who watches movies, is being actually bombarded with mind control programming. It got the technology got sold to Hollywood. It got sold to businesses. All this marketing, technology, the way that products are marketed to us is comes from that program, MK Ultra. Now it goes into a little more depth where they can use remote sensors to basically see what I'm thinking. And they did this, they can do this because they mapped out the human language in the brain. What they did was they attached sensors to people's heads. And you got to imagine like a deep underground military base where there's like hundreds and thousands of test subjects. And they're talking. And as they're talking, these sensors are going to a computer, and the sensors are showing what's happening in the brain. And so they're able to map out what each word and syllable looks like on these, what's called SPECT. It's something, positron, electron, something, SPECT. It's basically a three-dimensional picture with colors of what's going on in the brain as far as what areas are lit up and how intense the charge is. Okay, because your brain's like a light bulb, but it's not just the whole thing glows. Like different areas get these, these charges. So basically, they know what you're thinking by seeing what the picture is of your brain. You know what I'm saying? Your self-talk is read out by the activity of your brain. It's not just brain waves, it's actual 3D pictures. So I'm saying something, my brain is lit up in a certain picture, like maybe think of a Rorschach picture or something, I don't know. Or just look up SPECT pictures. So they use these remote satellite cameras or whatever it is, these remote sensors, and they can see what you're thinking and what I'm thinking. So they know my intentions are pure, and the benevolent Illuminati, has chosen me, Londos, yes. And I don't know if it's because of what I did, or maybe my parents are part of an ancient sex cult and they conceived me through a ritual on a certain date. I think it has to do with my birthday. Anyway, long story short, they see that my brand has the potential to become an overarching stamp on everything. Okay, you want health food? Master Lukey stamp. You want sport, mixed martial arts? The Master Lukey stamp. You want eco-friendly apparel? The Master Lukey stamp goes on it. You want music? Boom. You want pornos? Boom. Healthy pornos. You want what else? Anything that can be sold. Okay, because if you think about the word money, mon eye, one eye. Okay, this is one vision at the top of the pyramid. And then at the top of the pyramid is this logo. That's just how I see things. Maybe I'm schizo, but I'm not harming anyone. And, worst case scenario or best case scenario, I build something, that helps people. It's martial arts safety and health food. So sue me, The only people that don't want me to be successful is the people who's making money on junk food and head contact. And fuck those guys anyway. You can't stop me. I'm chosen. Got God on my side. Ooh. I do have this tumor on my heart, though, that's pressing on the nerve. So every time I flex my right bicep, if I've been eating, the tumor grows. But when I'm fasting, the tumor shrinks. So when I've done extended fasting in the past, like last week, this goes away. And I haven't been able to do pull-ups in a while because of it. I don't want to tear my bicep because the pressure of it, it kind of like predisposes me to injury. So I got to be careful. Anyway, Project Blue Agate is a secret government organization. They watched what I was thinking, and now they send me text messages. It's only one number, but whoever the operative is sends me the text messages of these stories to go over. I don't know who it is. It could be an actual fan. In my thinking, it's a secret government plan to make me famous on YouTube. If I can monetize my channel, I go on this tour, I make money on tour to fund the channel, to fund the tour. And then the ultimate goal is to create Master Lukey's League of Champions. And it's the benevolent Illuminati. Not the pedos who drink blood. It's the people who want to save the world from environmental destruction and disease and injury, through the head trauma. I don't know. Does any of that make sense? I'm kind of rambling, but this recipe is dairy-free. Dairy, pasteurized, homogenized dairy, is a carcinogen. Dairy is a carcinogen. It grows tumors. It's not a flesh food. Dr. Jubb told me it's not a flesh food. But that's more of a moral issue. Because the animal doesn't have to be killed. But as far as human health goes, NG, not good. Speaking of not good, I got these giant fucking GMO, probably steroid zucchinis to make zoodles out of. So I'm just gonna do a little bit of an experiment tonight on this recipe. Hold on a second. There was one more thing that I wanted to go over before I make that. Why am I the chosen one on this? I don't know. I'm worthy though. I am worthy. Let's see here. Okay. Beer made from recycled toilet water. Wow. I'm glad I don't drink. Sheesh. I'm actually straight edge at this point. I'm out of weed. I'm out of mushrooms. I'm straight. No! Beer made from recycled toilet water wins admirers in Singapore. I'll tell you this, when I had my house, when I had UFC money, I was married. We spent the last of my UFC money on the down payment for the house, and then we lost it thereafter. But I had a plan that all the water in the house coming from the roof, it's harvested, okay? It goes in through the walls, and the walls are living walls. The walls have dirt and moss. The moss purifies the air. It's like an air filter for the whole house. So the walls actually are made of dirt and moss, so that the water comes down from the rain and it actually waters the moss as it comes. These are internal walls. They're living walls. You could look them up. I'm not going to look it up now, but living walls. You can get them in your house. It could be moss. It could be vines. It could be anything. You have to have light, though. It has to be light. But not so much for moss. Moss doesn't need as much light as vines. Anyway, the water comes down. It goes through the soil, right? This is the walls. It goes through the soil. And then it's harvested. On the bottom of the house, there's a giant container. Like a 10,000 gallon tank or whatever, however the biggest container is. Kind of like a sump. Is it a sump? What's the thing that people have in their house that they go poopy in? It has to get pumped out every once in a while. Anyway, there's a giant tank under the house. So all the water in the house is in this tank. Okay? Now there's a purifier connected to it. So the water that you bathe in, the water that you drink, comes out of this tank, but it's purified. The water that you poop into, in your toilet bowl and pee into, it goes into that tank. So the tank is not just water, but it's actually refuse. It's like the compost from your sink. They got that blade that grinds up your food particles. It's your poopy and your pee. Everything goes into this giant tank. So if you're going to drink out of that, obviously it's got to be purified. So it's just like a self-sustainable house that I was envisioning back then when I had UFC money. But this reminds me of that. Why am I the chosen one, Londos? Because I have a pure heart and I have the dedication and the discipline from martial arts. That's why. I'm not just a martial artist. I'm not just like a monk, but I'm a martial arts monk. You understand? It's a spiritual mission, and I have the discipline to carry it through. New Brew is no ordinary beer. The new Singapore Blonde Ale is made with recycled sewage. The alcoholic I'm sure they have a lot of tests that it goes through. The alcoholic beverage is a collaboration between the country's National Water Agency, PUB, and local craft brewery, say that 5 times fast, brewery. First unveiled at a water conference in 2018, New Brew went on sale in supermarkets and at Brewworks outlets in April. I seriously couldn't tell this was made of toilet water. I hope so. Sheesh. Talk about aftertaste. Said Chu Wei Lan, 58, who had purchased the beer from a supermarket to try after hearing about it. Wow, he went for it. He said, I want to try the the sewage water beer. He says, I mean, it tastes just like beer, and I like beer. Londo says, who would drink that crap? Pun intended. Wah, wah, wah. Good one. New Brew uses New Water, Singapore's brand of drinking water recycled from sewage, which first flowed from treatment plants in 2003 to improve the island's water security. Well, there you go. The idea of processing sewage water into drinking water, once largely resisted, has been gaining support in the past decade as the world's supply of fresh water is increasingly under stress. The World Wildlife Fund estimates 2.7 billion people find water scarce for at least 1 month a year. Oh my. That's pretty scary. New Water is a high-grade reclaimed water produced from treated water that is further purified using advanced membrane technologies and ultraviolet disinfection, making it ultra clean and safe to drink. Okay, so, oh, wait a second, there's a diagram here. Let's see. See with this diagram. Ultra clean is actually a legal term. Stage 1, microfiltration. The first stage of the new water production process is known as microfiltration or ultrafiltration. In this process, the treated used water is passed through membranes to filter out microscopic particles and bacteria. Stage 2, reverse osmosis. The second stage of the new water process is known as reverse osmosis. In RO, a semi-permeable membrane is used. The semi-permeable membrane has very small pores which only allow very small molecules like water molecules to pass through. Consequently, undesirable contaminants including viruses cannot pass through the membrane. After the RO ultraviolet disinfection. After the RO stage, the water is already of a high-grade water quality. The third stage of the new water production process is ultraviolet or UV disinfection, which is capable of killing both bacteria and viruses. This process acts as an additional safety measure to guarantee the purity of new water. I actually had a filtration system in my house that I was just talking about, which is actually even cleaner than that because reverse osmosis does not, and steam distillation does not remove fluoride ion. And I had a deionizer, and that's the only type of filter that can get rid of the fluoride ion. But I drink that new water any day over tap water. Any day. And I would drink that new water any day over beer. And I would drink my own piss any day over beer. So ha ha to you. Alright. Excuse me. So, let's get into this recipe here. Let's see. Dino Whiz. 3 cups pumpkin, 2 cups sea moss, 1 cup yeast. So I'm going to reduce the yeast and see what the flavor is like. And let me also keep track of this here. Okay, this Dino Whiz has no yeast. So I think half a cup would be fine. Let's try it. So I'm going to make my logo here. We got the circle. We got the M. Dino. Whiz. Okay, 3 cups pumpkin, 2 cups Irish moss, 1/2 cup nutritional yeast. We got, that says a 1/2 cup apple cider vinegar. I'm gonna go 1/4 cup ACV, and that's for my girlfriend because she doesn't like ACV. And then that says 2 teaspoons salt. I'm gonna try 1 teaspoon salt in the interest of saving money. Kinnan says no, 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 no. What are you saying that to? The beer? Or me being the chosen one of the benevolent Illuminati? Why are you saying no, no, no? No, 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 no. Kinnan says no, 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 no. Why? Alright. 3 cups pumpkin. Matter of fact, let me put the moss in first. Two cups. It's gonna go in the fridge. Okay, now 3 cups pumpkin seed. 1, 2, 2 3/4, 3. Why are you saying no, no, no? Because I'm eating. I know, I feel guilty. I'm a terrible, terrible health coach. Okay. Okay. 1/2 cup yeast. The challenge is to make it taste like cheese, even though I'm not calling it cheese. I want it, you know, if my kids are addicted to mac and cheese, or if kids in general are addicted to mac and cheese, I want something that they're gonna like. Oh no. Oh wait, never mind. I got scared for a second. I couldn't see my apple cider vinegar. That would have sucked. That would have sucked donkey balls. 1/4 cup. Alright, now, the only thing is tonight, I'm actually making it spicy. I got these 2 habanero peppers. We actually just rinse them. It's not really going to affect the texture of the cheese. So I'm not concerned about that. As far as the flavor goes, I think I'll be able to still get the gist of, you know, if it's cheesy or not. I got a quarter cup of ACV, so I'm gonna put a half cup of actual water. Double the amount of water as ACV. It's not going to really dilute the flavor, but it is going to help it move and blend. See? All right. I'm gonna say that's good. I definitely got the heat, but it didn't change the flavor. I'm tasting the yeast. It's not overpowering. I would say maybe it could use a little more salt. But it's a good start. What else we got? Rio's residents garden their way out of hunger. Wow. Let's go Brazil. Can't wait to go to Brazil. Poa. Fernanda da Silva earns a monthly stipend of $95 working in the urban garden. Very nice. Not too long ago, Fernanda da Silva was going hungry like millions of other Brazilians. The 40-year-old mother of three was out of work and money was tight. Her husband's monthly earnings as a doorman, $250, just over a minimum salary, kept their family afloat. It was really difficult for us, recalls Mrs. Silva. I had no income, I was hungry. Then just over a year ago, Ms. Silva started planting fresh produce on a patch of land not far from Cajueiro, the Rio de Janeiro favela where she lives, as part of an ambitious project aiming to create the world's largest urban garden. Now Ms. Silva puts her green fingers to use, along with 34 other gardeners, in exchange for a monthly stipend of 500 reais, $95 from the city, as well as heaps of fresh food that she can take home at no cost. All right. I bring home healthy food to put on the table for my children, she says, as she crouches among the vibrant rows of lettuce, beetroot, cassava, and carrots and tugs on the occasional weed. But the garden's impact has reached much further too, says Ms. Silva. We are bringing food to the tables of many people. Look at that. Man, get some mulberry trees, some avocado trees, some weed. The community garden is expected to grow food for 50,000 families every year. The world's biggest urban garden. The idea behind the community garden is to generate an income for people in nearby favelas, such as Ms. Silva, while also helping feed vulnerable residents. Once completed, it should grow food for some 50,000 local families every year, starting in 2024. Londo says jujitsu cabbage. How about cauliflower ear? They're growing cauliflower ear there. Let me tweet this out. What is this? Share link. Copy link. And go to Twitter. And tweet. And then paste, and then I'm gonna copy, paste, boom. I made a comment on a post about climate change, and look, I got 20. This is the most notifications I've ever gotten on Twitter. Let's see. Stick that AG theory somewhere else. It's urban sprawl housing. I said something about humans are harming the environment because of the agricultural industry. So this guy says, stick that ag theory somewhere else. It's urban sprawl housing covering up everything with cement. More harm is done to water by people watering their lawns that runs to drains that runs to rivers. Ag producers have so many regulations, and rightfully so. We like clean water too. Oh, I see. This guy's a farmer, huh? Okay. This guy said something about your precious big pharma, and I said, who's precious big pharma? I'm all natural. He said, my mistake. Please forgive my ignorance. The garden is tucked in a working class area of Rio de Janeiro on a plot of land that was once a quilombo, a settlement founded by enslaved Africans who escaped their captors. In the run-up to the Rio Olympics, around 900 families were expelled to make way for a manicured park where spectators could watch the games. Enslaved Africans who escaped their captors. These people are escaping the food industry. A small slice of this park is now being transformed into an urban garden. An area the size of a football field is already complete, and it is expected to expand more than tenfold to 110,000 square meters, 27 acres, by the end of the year. Half of the production will be donated to favela residents in need, while the rest will be sold at a fair price, with earnings split among the gardeners, says Julio Cesar Barros, a soil and crop expert employed by the city who's leading the project. We wanted to show it's possible to grow food within a large urban center like Rio de Janeiro, he says. They certainly got a lot of cement there. What is that, deer tongue? This looks like deer tongue, which is a type of lettuce. Or maybe weed. No, there's something else there. What is that? Something in here. I can't tell what that is. Deepening hunger crisis. In Brazil, where hunger is surging, urban gardens offer a glimmer of hope. The Latin American giant once led the global fight against hunger, largely thanks to generous public spending that lifted millions out of poverty. Between 2004 and 2013, it slashed the number of people going hungry by more than half, from 9.5% to 4.2% of the population. But a painful recession coupled with a punishing pandemic and surging inflation have wiped out those gains. Some 33 million Brazilians, 15.5% of the population, are now going hungry. New research by a network of civil society groups that include ActionAid and Oxfam showed this month. The project has offered an important lifeline at a time when many are struggling to survive, says Luciane Costa, head of the Residents Association in the favelas Faz Quemquer and Moreno. She hopes the urban garden can inspire communities elsewhere, helping others who are grappling with hunger. What we're doing here shows what's possible, and I hope we can set an example for others too. For Mrs. Silva, the gardener, the experience has already been life-changing. It's brought me so much joy to come here and be part of this, to do what I love, which is to work with the soil, to plant, she says. It's been a really special opportunity for me. I think it's very natural and part of our DNA to be caretakers of the earth. What do you think? I think that's our purpose, is to actually work with the land as an extension of our bodies. Londo says grappling with hunger. Yeah, get that hunger in a joint, in a chokehold. I had this theory once about the benevolent Illuminati. It had to do with the word Monsanto. And the word Mon meaning world and Santo meaning saint. Or maybe Mon means one and saint. I was like, what if the conspiracy is to actually wake people up by doing something negative, and then the people fight against it? So it's like, you know, they're doing something to make people do the opposite. It's like a trick, and you know, people have prophesied about this upcoming golden age. We're supposed to be going into a golden age of humanity. And get back to nature, man. Heal yourself, heal the earth, heal the soil. And, you know, that'd be a nice thought, huh? The only thing is these technocrats wanted to put chips in everybody. And that's not cool. I don't think that's going to work out the way they think it is. But didn't Tesla have some type of natural electricity that was healthy? Not Tesla, the car company, but the original dude. Londo's getting warmer. You're saying it's a Mason conspiracy? You would say that, brother. All right. So I got my cheese sauce. I got my giant GMO zucchinis. So I'll do it one at a time and I'll make a dish. Is this a good angle or not? If I come over here. getting all the green off as I can. Need better lighting in this studio. Lights, camera, action. It's the first one, lights. The most important thing. In order for the camera to get a good shot, you gotta have good lights. Yeah, what if Monsanto was making all these GMOs and killing everybody to cause people to fight against them? Alright. I'm a righty, so I gotta do it this way. Do another one. Cause I'm a fat boy. Fat boy on a diet. Don't try it. I got big guts because I was raised on grains and dairy, and the dairy caused my intestines to grow. So my belly's bigger than it should be. My waist should have been probably a 27 instead of a 32. All that pasta and cheese. Cereal and milk. Damn it! Never have a V shape. V tape or whatever. Well, maybe. Maybe if as I continue to fast. It'd be a miracle, I tell you. I bought these ingredients with your money, Lundos. Thank you. I'm saving the rest for Sir Doyle. And maybe the kid at the gym if he wants me to help him. I gave him some apple cider today that I bought, and I said, he was like, "Oh, really? You sure?" He was like, you know, he was like not weirded out, but he was like kind of confused that I just gave him free apple cider. I said, "Yeah, bro. You said, you know, you want to help you, so if you like it, hit me up and we'll talk more. I got other things that I can give you. I got recipes and shit. Help you get your abs, and you can do a testimonial for me." I said, "Okay." So if I see him tomorrow, or when I see him tomorrow, he says he wants to learn more, I'll give him some of this. Some of this. Alright, that's a lot. It ain't easy being greasy. Stop it, that is between you and me. Where's Mike Levine? I don't know, bro. Maybe he fucking died because he got that experimental medical procedure. You know what I'm talking about? He had to get it for his job. Either that or I said something that offended him. Oh, notifications. NASA, huh? Okay. Kellogg's loses court case over sugary cereal supermarket offers. Man, I hope you go out of business. Kellogg's, wow, look at that. We got to tweet this. This is a good one. Let's go back to Twitter. Tweet this. Kellogg's will not be allowed. Hello? Where do I? Oh. There we go. I'm going to send this to my Facebook too. Oh, here's a spec, by the way. It's a shitty picture, but you see how you got like the Rorschach painting in there. You know what? Fuck you, Kellogg's. In-store promotions on food and drink high in fat, salt, or sugar will be restricted under new rules for England. Food giant Kellogg's had taken the government to court, arguing the rules did not take into account the nutritional value of added milk. Ah, oh my God. Because you put milk on it. Wow. That's hilarious. Why don't you just fucking give the kids heroin and put milk on it? You piece of shit! You bastards! The Royal Courts of Justice, yeah, get 'em, ruled in favor of the government. Kellogg said it was disappointed. Go home and cry about it, you fuck. Go home and cry. I'm disappointed I can't kill your kids. Fuck you. It makes little sense to us that consumers will be able to buy other products like donuts and chocolate spreads on promotion, but not many types of breakfast cereals, said Kellogg UK Manager Director Chris Silcock. You know what? That's like when somebody gets in trouble for doing something and they go, oh, but Johnny's doing this. You know? It's like, oh, you're fucking suspended for cheating. And he goes, yeah, but Johnny was cheating too. Oh, so now you're a rat, Chris Silcock. You fucking Chris Suckcock. I don't want to be insensitive. Chris No Cock. You fuck. What people will do for money, huh? This is like equivalent to child sacrifice to Satan. Giving kids cereal is like doing child sacrifice to Satan. Let me get this clip for TikTok. Giving kids sugary cereal is like doing child sacrifice to Satan. And you should be ashamed of yourself, Kellogg. Go to hell. Go back to hell, you demon. Go back to hell where you came from, you demon from the pits of hell. And take your sugary cereal with you, you fuck. How's that for kayfabe? Londos. That's for TikTok. The Department of Health and Social Care said it strongly welcomed the judgment as location promotion restrictions were expected to deliver more than some of the health benefits. Together with the volume price restrictions, these changes will protect children up and down the country from products high in saturated fat, sugar, or salt. From October, foods deemed high in fat, sugar, or salt will be banned from prime spots such as checkouts, store entrances, aisle ends, and their online equivalents. The halt on promotions such as buy one get one free offers has been delayed by the government for 12 months due to the cost of living crisis. Popular Kellogg's brands such as Crunchy Nut Corn Flakes and Fruit and Fiber are classified as high sugar in their dry form. But Kellogg's argued adding milk would change the calculation by reducing the proportion of sugar and salt content relative to the weight of the overall serving. It doesn't matter! You're still getting the amount, you dumb bastard. The company said independent market data showed cereals were eaten with milk or yogurt in 92% of cases. But Judge Mr. Justice Linden said Kellogg cereals do not come with instructions for preparation which say that they should be consumed with milk. Oh my God, this is just arguing between two idiots. Mr. Justice Linden said there was no dispute that breakfast cereals can be part of a healthy diet. Alright, you know what? That's dumb. I had enough. I had hope for a second, but I lost it. gotta use this one. I gotta sweat the zucchini. Sheesh, that's a lot. Good lordy lord. Good fruity food. What do you mean work on it, Londos? What do I gotta work on? I gotta yell, I gotta plan it. Gotta write it out first. My voice. I gotta go to New York Wrestling Connection and get lessons. So that's on, and here comes the cheese. Here comes the cheese, doo-doo-doo-doo. And I say it's alright. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. The zucchini is in the pot with Dino Whiz cheese. The zucchini was turned into zoodles. Here comes the cheese. Here comes the cheese, and I say it's alright. Do 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 do. Here comes the cheese. Oh wait a minute! I can't call it cheese because it's not made from fucking cow pus and titty milk, cow titty milk. Here comes the Dino Whiz. Doesn't have the ring to it. Alright, I don't want it to burn, so I'm gonna keep going back and forth, but let's see what this last article is about. Yeah, but nobody knows who you are, Londos. I can tell people that you donated. Anybody want to donate? Go to masterluki.com. Boom. Pow. Click on where it says about. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, @Lukumo. Email. My phone number. My Skype. My mailing address. I might change that to the place where I'm at now because, I don't have anything to hide. And then the donate button. Okay, this is Kellogg's. Last one. Russia's space chief speaks out on nationalization. That is a cool freaking title. Space chief. I want to be space chief. Space Chief brings up invasion of the Neptune men. Wow. Superhero film. Sonny Chiba! What? Sonny Chiba! Clumsy invaders from Neptune are thwarted by hero Space Chief and a nondescript group of micro-short-wearing Japanese kids. What? Sonny Chiba! My hero! One of them. Learn something new every day. Now, let me see something. Maybe I can get this on my illegal streaming site. Typing it in. Invasion of the Neptune Men. Doesn't look like it. Let me do a Google search. $1961. Oh, watch on YouTube? What? Oh, MSTK. That's the Mystery Science Theater 3000. So that's a... maybe I'll watch it like that. Maybe I'll watch it anyway. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Dino cheese in my tummy. Dino whiz in my tummy. Gotta call it Dino whiz. Enterprises. Wait a second. I wanted to see what a space chief looks like. That's a space chief. Wow, young Sonny Chiba, huh? Let's see what this dude from Russia looks like. Oh, dang. Man's been eating that space ice cream. Too much. Enterprises producing critical satellite components should be handed over to the state, Russia's space agency chief believes. I agree. Russian officials should seize control over companies producing key satellite components like radiation-hardened electronics, the head of the Russian Roscosmos space agency, Dmitry Rogozin, said on Tuesday. Russia's looking to double its satellite fleet of fake spaceships, Rogozin said during a meeting with the staff of a satellite manufacturing plant that is part of Roscosmos. Moscow would like to have more satellites, providing a variety of services ranging from satellite communications for the armed forces to facilitating broadband internet access and the Internet of Things. Oh no! Not the Internet of Things! That's the freaking thing where they put the chips in your brain, bro. The network of physical objects that are embedded with sensors, software, and other technologies for the purpose of connecting and exchanging data with devices and systems over the internet. Code word for we're going to put a microchip in your brain, bro. You bastards! Oh, fuck, it's burning. I knew it! Shouldn't have left it alone. Just like my ex-wife. Shouldn't have left her alone. When am I gonna learn? You care for something, someone? Don't let him out of your sights. Hopefully by the time my kids are ready for college, I'll be able to go wherever they go. They're gonna look out their classroom window and see me like spying on them with binoculars. I'm gonna get an apartment in any city they go to. I'm that guy. They go to drink a sip of beer, I'll be there, holding them for the keg stand or whatever. I'm putting some water on this pot to kind of cool it down a little bit. Alright, so how should I eat this? With a fork or chopsticks? Fork or chopsticks for my zoodles. Zoodles and cheese, codenamed Mega Mac. Zoodles and Dino Whiz. I can't call it cheese because it's not made from cow titty milk. So basically, the government is taking over the manufacturing of the plug that's gonna stick in the back of your head like in the Matrix. The chief admitted that satellite manufacturing remains an issue of major concern due to lack of certain components like radiation-hardened microelectronics. This is our weak link, he added, calling on the issue to be resolved. What is this radiation-hardened microelectronics? Does that mean it's not going to burn out? Also called rad-hard electronics. That sounds cool. Rad-hard. Are electronic components that are designed and produced to be less susceptible to damage from exposure to radiation and extreme temperatures. Okay. Because they got to go out in space, supposedly. They got to go out in space. You know, I don't believe in space travel. I certainly don't believe we ever landed on the moon. That was a production of the studio of Stanley Kubrick. I would suggest nationalizing these industries and handing them over to Roscosmos and the Russian State Atomic Agency, Rosatom, he said. The Kremlin has not commented on Rogozin's proposal so far. In late February, the Russian Space Agency chief said Roscosmos might purchase the needed components in China if Western nations added them to the list of sanctioned goods. The space agency admitted as early as June 2021 that U.S. sanctions on selling microelectronics to Russia had hit the nation's satellite manufacturing industry and disrupted the timely launch of several satellites. Roscosmos has recently seen some of its suppliers refusing to provide components to the Russian side. The space agency's first deputy head for economy and finances, Maxim Ovchinnikov, told Russia's Interfax News agency on Tuesday. The U.S. sanctions have barred the agency from accessing some key technologies, making it impossible for Roscosmos to fulfill its obligations under several government contracts, he added. Alright, here's my commentary so far. The United States and China are working together to get everybody chipped. And they want to corner the market on this digital enslavement. They don't want Russia to enslave their own people. They want to do it through their companies. Whatever companies are in charge of the United States and Russia. United States and China. They want to have the monopoly on mind control chips. Key technologies. That's what the war in Ukraine's about. This is just a picture right here. This is not a real. This is not a real picture. This is an artist's rendition. The U.S. and its allies responded to Moscow's decision to launch a military operation in Ukraine in late February by slapping Russia with an unprecedented number of sanctions targeting its banking and finance sectors as well as aviation and space industries. In March, a major U.S. space industry conference even censored the name of Yuri Gagarin, a Soviet cosmonaut and the first human in space, explaining it was due to current world events. The European Space Agency indefinitely postponed its ExoMars rover mission the same month because of anti-Russian sanctions. The launch of the rover was supposed to be carried out in partnership with Russia and was initially set for later this year. What a bunch of BS. What's the whole deal with space exploration anyway? We got enough problems on this planet. Freaking psychos. Alright, since nobody said anything, I'm gonna do what I want, which is eat with chopsticks. Because I'm Master Loki, and I am from ancient warriors. Hey Rick, what's up, man? About to eat my zoodles and Dino Whiz, which is together ribbit my Mega Mac recipe. I'm gonna get a little screenshot for whatever. Screenshot, boom, pow. This is what I'm working on. My nonprofit business plan. Here's the executive summary. Basically, I'm gonna go on tour, and this business plan is to establish the League of Champions as a nonprofit organization so I can get a bus donated and whatever else I can get donated so I can tour. It's the first stage. It's the first stage. It's not the whole thing. It's just the first stage. I finished reading the book, yeah. I'm doing kind of the 80-20 rule, or the 20-80 rule. The 20-80 rule, as far as I learned it, was instead of doing 100% of the work to get 100% done, do 20% of the work to get 80% done. And this way you're much more efficient with time. And I gotta get in front of these lawyers. Let me see if I can pull up the on my email. Hopefully there's nothing incriminating here. Let's see here. Let's go reports. Here we go. NFP websites. Pro bono partnership. I think this is it. This application is for startup organizations that seek to incorporate and or obtain 501c3 tax-exempt recognition from the IRS. I think that's what it is, yeah. If you're a new nonprofit or a group seeking to incorporate, please review our resources for starting a new nonprofit. Let me open that in a new tab. Pro bono partnership assists qualifying nonprofit organizations in Connecticut, New Jersey, and New York, primarily the Lower Hudson Valley and Long Island, with their business legal needs. The nonprofits must primarily serve the communities within these 3 states. We do not assist nonprofits that are primarily focused on serving communities outside of the tri-state region, even if the nonprofits are located in our service area. Oh, good thing I read that part. Now I got to change it to make sure I talk about that I'm going around here. Pro bono partnership does not assist individuals, houses of worship, or for-profit organizations. If the partnership determines that we can help your group with incorporation or applying for tax exemption, there will be a non-refundable administrative fee of $5.95. Oh God, which is in addition to all required state and federal filing fees. Fuck. The procedure set forth on this webpage and the administrative fees are subject to revision in the future. Any information that you submit via this form, God damn it. Prior to applying for legal assistance, make sure you have gathered and completed all the following required documents. A business plan. What's the mission? Detailed description of the actual and proposed activities. Who are the target beneficiaries? In what communities will the activities be conducted? What other groups are addressing the same mission? What are the expected source of financial support? What specific fundraising plans do they have? Proposed 3-year budget. Oh, God. Description of your experience, if any, working with a charitable. Potential board members, at least 3. All right, so me and 2 other people. I'll take applications if you want to be them. Proposed staffing plan, summary of steps taken, providing me information. Okay, let me see something. Is this the same? Yeah, this is the same one. Okay. Sample grant proposals. Ooh, see, that's what I need is these grants. Complete the form below. All right. All right. So, see, this is the shit that I'm working on now. Webinar series. Ooh, spicy. Click here to view the course outline, which covers all webinar topics. Fundraising. Oh, God. I need somebody on the board who's going to help me with this shit. Well, that's the course outline. All right. Well, I'm not going to do it now. It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your nonprofit status is? All right. Well, I don't know what else to say, guys. I'm gonna call it. We're up to on 2 hours now. I'm gonna finish this and veg.
That problem. A lot of hard work. So if you're thinking about starting a nonprofit, there are a couple things that you should probably do before you get started that will help make sure that you will be successful and make a big impact. If you've seen some of my other videos, welcome back. If this is our first time meeting, my name is Amber Melanie Smith, and I am a nonprofit founder, executive director, and speaker on all things social impact, service, and leadership. There's really a lot that goes into successfully starting and growing a nonprofit, but in this video I want to talk about 3 key things that you really need to do before you do any kind of paperwork or even think of a name for your nonprofit to make sure that you can be the most successful at getting it off the ground possible. As someone who started a nonprofit when I was in college and now currently run the organization full-time, I definitely know about the steps that it can take to get something off the ground successfully. And I also know about a lot of mistakes that I made early on that if I hadn't made, we would have been able to progress a lot faster and not only becoming financially sustainable, but making a way bigger impact. If you're interested in hearing about all those mistakes that I made starting a nonprofit, you can hope you enjoy. But getting back on topic for this video, I'm just going to dive right into those 3 key things that you need to be doing before starting a nonprofit.
Anyway,
the first thing
that's
you
it
need
for
to
tonight.
do
I'll be back tomorrow. Any other questions? Go to masterleague.com. Click on the About page and leave me a message. All right? I'll get back to you ASAP. Over.